Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Kindred Coven. My name is Callista.
And my name is Jacob.
Recently, we watched the movie Predator's Killer of Killers.
Yep, the new Predator movie that was animated. They just revealed it last month, and it came out on Hulu just yesterday.
Which was June 6th. It might not be
Right,
yesterday when this is uploaded. We're recording this the day after it was posted or
right,
released. And we really liked it. I personally was really surprised. I mean, I expected it to be cool because it's Predator, you know.
right.
It's always at least a little bit cool, even if it's bad. But yeah, this
Right.
really blew me
I
away.
I went into this not expecting to love it. I thought it'd be good because I love animation. I think the first Predator movie is amazing, but this really blew me away. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been especially exciting for me as someone who really grew up watching all the Alien and Predator movies. Like, those are big, like, foundational films for me. So just kind of having a bit of a renaissance we've had this and Prey, which are both great. Alien Romulus was good. Alien Earth is looking really good so far. It's just kind of having a bit of like a resurgence of these movies being good again. It's
Right,
got me
and
really
then
excited.
this movie plus Prey and Predator Badlands, which is coming up, were all directed by the same guy, Dan Trachtenberg. So if anything's to go off of from this movie, then Predator Badlands is going to be great too.
Yeah. And I know he wants to do an Alien vs. Predator movie with the guy who directed Alien Romulus, which I can't remember his name.
Right. I don't remember either.
Whatever. I'll have it pop up on the screen. Of course, spoiler warning. We won't get into too big of spoilers towards the end, which will have another warning for you. There'll also be a timestamp up on the screen if you want to avoid that. But yeah, let's get into it.
Right. So this movie has three different stories. They basically just place a predator in three different time periods, and so you get to see like one person fight off a predator using their technology and whatever they have to them.
Yeah, and all in different time periods as well, not just like different countries and stuff. There was the first one, which was in. I don't think they gave a specific location, but it was somewhere in Scandinavia.
Yeah, it followed a Viking woman
Mm-hmm.
who was, what was she doing? She was
She was getting
rampaging,
revenge
right?
for her father's death, and the next one was a samurai.
Set in set in feudal Japan, followed a samurai who was seeking power against his twin brother.
Yeah, and then the third one I wasn't too excited for when I realized what it was, but it ended up being really cool. It was
World
a
War II fighter pilot.
yeah, it was pretty good.
In all three of the stories, we see they follow a particular hero, but I think what's important is that they didn't defeat the predator by themselves, and that's a big part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when we think about predator movies, they're always about how a human can survive against an opponent, a predator that is far more advanced technologically than ourselves, right?
Yes.
Right. And so I think obviously it's near impossible to defeat one by yourself. So working together as a team is a big theme in this movie. So this movie is about how humans can work together and communicate to accomplish an impossible task.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like most Predator movies are more, I guess not modern, but modern for like when they were released. Except for Prey, but it was cool just to see like different time periods. I think that was one of the really cool things that both this did and Prey, where we have like, especially with the first two, with the Scandinavian woman, the Viking woman, and then the samurai, having to use like swords and axes to fight off the predator was just so cool.
Right. And I also noticed it seemed like the predators also evolved in technology as time went on. It's like the first one was basically fighting with his bare hands, and then the second one had like the explosive bombs, and then the third one in World War II had a plane, right? A ship.
Yeah, and it was cool. I liked the dogfight a lot.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting because we get to see that predators also evolve technologically.
Yeah, because I mean that's what they do is they hunt, they learn from what they hunt, they evolve. Just seeing more of like the predators like culture, I guess, was cool. Um,
Yeah.
One thing that I guess really stood out to me with this is that because it was animated, obviously kills and stuff aren't everything, but in a predator movie, they absolutely are. So just having the freedom of having these really cool kills because of animation was really fun.
Oh yeah, and this movie is so violent, especially that first part.
Oh yeah, that first predator went crazy.
Yeah, even before the predator showed up, when it was just the woman, Ursa was her name.
Yes.
Like, wow, this thing is gory.
Yeah, yeah, that was really good. Um, I suppose we should go more in depth with the individual things about it now. So,
Mm.
spoiler warning for the rest of the video. If you don't want to be spoiled, bye. Thank you for watching, though. It's appreciated. So, the first one with Ursa, we had. She was trying to get revenge for her father's death. And yeah, just going on a big rampage was just crazy.
Yeah, she had her son with her, Anders,
Mm-hmm.
and the implication there is that her son is watching his mother like devolve into an animal as she becomes more and more violent, and it was just kind of terrifying to see, honestly.
Yeah, and that predator too was just so big.
Oh, he was huge.
It was crazy. I loved it. And I really
And
liked that, again, spoilers, through her rage, she ended up getting her son killed
right,
because he died fighting the predators. So it's like, yes, she gets revenge, but also her son dies. And I think there's just something cool about that. How, like, yeah, revenge isn't everything, and it can be a bad thing, even though it can be satisfying.
right. And I believe that's a theme that runs throughout the whole movie is that all three of our heroes had to sacrifice someone to defeat the predator,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in the second story, we had Kenji was his name, the samurai. The story was about him and his brother Kiyoshi fighting over power. So they were in a fight to the death when the predator shows up, and they have to work together to defeat it.
Yes. And it was just really cool to see them, like, that kill on the predator was really cool.
Oh yeah, with the invisibility.
Yeah, they had like a leaf fall down and it landed on the predator while it was invisible. And then the two brothers like went together to kill it and they cut it in half. And it was like, that was cool.
Oh, it was so cool. Some of the greatest action directing in an animated film in a while.
I think out of all of them, in just terms of action, the second short was definitely the best. Just from
Oh,
an
I
action
agree.
standpoint, it was very good. Even before
Yeah,
the
definitely.
predator showed up, the fight was just really good.
Yep. And so, again, running with the theme of sacrificing someone, we had the third story, right? It was about a World War II fighter pilot named
Torres.
Torres.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So he was more of an engineer, right? Not a pilot, and he figures out that there's something in the air that's not human, not what they're normally used to fighting. So he goes up there to warn them, and everyone except for one guy dies.
Yep.
And so the two of them kind of figure out what they're up against, and the other guy gives them the motivation to figure out what to do, but then he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Torres uses his own ingenuity as the protagonist to defeat the Predator.
Yeah. And that one especially was just like, again, when I first saw it was like taking place in World War II, I was a bit disappointed. I was like, oh, I was thinking like a medieval knight or something would be really cool.
I was praying for that too.
But the dogfight really sold me on that one. I was like, okay, this is really dope. I like that a lot.
Mhm.
I still think it was probably my least favorite of them though. Um
I actually think my least favorite was the first part, which I was expecting to like the most.
I just thought the action in that was so cool, and the big, really big
It was
predator.
very
I
cool.
loved it. Yeah,
But
but
anyway, so spoiler talk.
I mean, we're already
This,
in spoiler talk, but yeah,
yeah, yeah. This is not an anthology movie like they marketed it as, right? An anthology means the stories are separate and not connected at all, but it turns out these are connected. And there's a fourth part where the three protagonists have been captured by the predators to fight to the death on their planet.
yeah, and it was so. For me, this fourth part really tied the whole thing together. Before that, I thought, oh, these are cool little shorts, but just having this little, bow on top of all of it made. Before this was probably like a 7 out of 10, but this brought it up to an 8 for me. I thought this was really phenomenal because of it.
Right, I agree. This final part just ties it all together thematically because all of our heroes had to work together. Well, first they had to figure out they had to work together because there's a language barrier going on there.
Yep, because
And
they're
once
from
they
different
all
time periods, and they were like frozen in
exact
time to be able to be there.
so once they all figured out what was happening and that they had to work together, well, I mean, you've seen movies before, you can guess what happens there.
Yeah.
And of course, following the theme that happens in the first three shorts, one of them has to sacrifice themselves for the other two to survive.
Yes, which ended up being Ursa because she had to go break the chain that was holding the ship that was holding them back.
Right.
Um,
And then that's just where the movie ends. I
well,
wish there
it
was
showed
more.
her. They showed Ursa being frozen again, so she's not dead. So there could lead to a sequel. Big
Right.
spoiler though, the girl from Prey was frozen as well. We didn't see her till the very end, but it was like, oh, she's here too.
Yep. Here's your post-credits scene.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes me really hope to do another thing like this and do
Yeah, I
another
really hope
anthology.
so.
Whether it's the same characters or different characters, I would love to see different time periods, different cultures, and stuff. Like I said, medieval knight would be really cool. I would love to see that.
That's what I'm praying for too. It would be so cool and so perfect.
Yeah, give like the predator like a sword too or something and a shield. Oh,
Yeah. I also found out the gun that they gave Torres on the fourth part was in Prey as well. I did not know that.
oh, that's interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. I did think that was funny that they didn't give him like an actual gun. They gave him something that wasn't. They didn't even give him ammo for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fourth part really just tied everything together and really great action too.
Yeah. And also this movie was apparently animated in Unreal Engine, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. That's really like I didn't know there was animated films with Unreal Engine, but
Yeah, I think this is one of the first that they did that with.
yeah, which is really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. I'm just glad that this movie I expected to be mindless action just got me to think about the themes that it presented. So yeah, I think that puts it as a classic for me. I like this a lot.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite animated movies I've seen. I mean, newly released animated movies that I've seen for the past couple of years, probably since Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Right.
I can't think of any other that are like up there. Yeah, it was really good. I got yeah.
Yeah, I love this. I'd give it an 8 out of 10 as well.
I also give an 8 out of 10. It definitely leaves a bit to be desired, but still, it's great. It's very you know I
Yeah, and
got so
it's
much more
pretty
from it than I
short.
thought it would.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, it's a short movie. It's only like 90 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's a quick watch. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, that's all I gotta say. Solid 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
watching.
thank
I've
you.
been Callista.
And I'm Jacob.
We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.